dugsiyada Nuruddin Schools.
Welcome back again. I say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Let us meet again and we will keep on our lesson relative clauses. So in the main point of our lesson is how many clauses are there. You can remember dependent clause and independent clause. So some relative pronouns like who, which, whom, that and whose can always introduces the relative clauses. A clause that doesn't stand alone. So relative clause doesn't stand alone. And the other thing is there are two other clauses, non-restrictive clause and non-restrictive clause. So that can be used restrictive clause, but which can be used non-restrictive clause. A clause that provides non-essential information. So that is only used only in restrictive clause. That use only when we are talking about relative clause, and you are going to use that. Always use non-restrictive, only restrictive clause, not non-restrictive clause, which can be used in non-restrictive, but that can be used in non-restrictive clause. No comma is needed. So restrictive clause, no comma is needed. So which can be used non-restrictive clause, a clause that provide non-essential information, but that can be used restrictive clause. It means limited. The word restricted means limited clause. So the relative pronoun that can only be used in restrictive clause. It can also be used, substituted for who. Who and that can be substituted, can be replaced. You can use who or you can use that when it refers to person, or which when it refers to thing. I say the woman that, the woman who. I say the band that, the band who, which. Becky was a booby. Booby is the young dog. Becky was a booby that became a member of our family immediately. So how many clauses you have here? Two clauses. Becky was a booby, can stand alone, and it is main clause or independent clause. But that became a member of our family immediately, cannot stand alone, and it is a relative clause. Because you see this, that is introduced. So we're going to use that, stand booby, or Becky was a booby, that. So that stand booby, and it is a relative pronoun, remember. William Harvey was the man who played 5 different World Series. So you have two clauses in here. William Harvey was the man is a main clause, who played in 5 different World Series is relative clause, because you see this one. So what does it stand for? The word who stand the man, or William Harvey was the man. So this is the independent clause, and the other clause is relative clause or dependent clause. It cannot stand alone. That spotted dog, spotted, was the one that bit me on the leg. Bit me on the leg, the pass of bite. So that spotted dog was the one that bit me on the leg. How many clauses now? That spotted dog, this one, this is a relative demonstrator adjective. It's not working as a pronoun, but that is working as a pronoun. So that spotted dog was the one. It's a independent clause or main clause. That bit me on the leg is independent. It's a dependent clause or relative clause because it introduced the word that. So that it is stunned the dog, the spotted dog. He's a kind person. He's a kind person. We're talking about a person, man, who will never let you down. Who will never let you down. So this he's a kind person. It is stand alone. It doesn't need. It's independent. So he's a kind person who will never let you down. Who will never let you down is relative clause, and who is a relative pronoun. It stands for the word, the he or the person. When should I use that, and when should I use which? Yes, this is the most important point. When should I use that, and when should I use when? Very important. Okay, there are several cases that when that is more appropriate than which. Sometimes that is more suitable to use which after the pronouns. If you see the pronouns, remember, if you see the pronouns all, anything, a few, or money, if they are working as a pronouns, much, nothing, none, and something. If you see this one, we're going to use that. The police usually ask for all details. Remember, the police usually ask for all details. That. Do not use which, because here you have all. So do not say which. That help identify a missing person. Some person was missed. A person was missed. So the police ask for more details, all details. The person, where that person has gone, what happened to that person. Yes, so it's different people. So if you have all, you're gonna use that. Do not which. So in your examination or your exercises, assignments, activities, if the teacher is say to you which one is correct, they put here, they give you a prophetic space in here, and they say which one is correct, that and which. And you see here all, how are you going to use? You're going to use that. Say, remember, after the pronoun is all, anything, few, money, much, nothing, nothing, none, and something. If you see this one, you're going to use that. Another example, dessert. Do not say dessert. Dessert is something that he wants. Okay, something. Here is something. Okay, and we're going to use that. So this is relative clause because we use relative pronouns. And this is main clause, two clauses. What is a sentence? It is compound or complex? It's complex because if the sentence has two clauses, one is subordinate and one is independent, dependent and independent, it's called complex sentence, not compound sentence, because compound sentence contains two independent clauses, not dependent and independent. But if the sentence has two, dependent and independent, we say it is a complex sentence. So dessert is something, dessert is something that he wants. So if you have something, we're going to use that. Remember this one. This, okay. Example questions. Example questions. Complete the following sentence using the correct relative pronouns. So you're going to remember and keep in mind. Think before you do. Okay, it was Hamda. It was Hamda. We're talking about this is a person. Hamda is not concept, it's not thing, it's not animal. Hamda is a person. It was Hamda gave me the old map. Who, which, that, whom. Okay, we don't use that, we don't use which. Why? Because Hamda is not animal or thing or concept. We don't use whom because Hamda is a subject, it's not object. So if Hamda is subject, the object of sentence is me. So Hamda is the subject, Hamda is not object. So we're going to use who. So the correct answer is who. It was Hamda who gave me. Here, who is a subject, remember. And whom is the object. So, if I say to you, which one is correct? This is the object of sentence, and this is the verb, main verb. And this is the direct object. So, the sentence have two objects, direct object and indirect object. Me is the indirect object, and the all map is direct object, two objects. But we don't have, where is the subject? Hamda. So, this one is standing for Hamda, and it's a relative clause. So it was Hamda who gave me, it was Hamda is main clause. Who gave me the all map is relative clauses. Because who introduces this clause. The computer, number two, the computer, so the correct answer is A. The computer I bought last week has already broken. Do we use when? No, we are not talking about time. Yesterday or last week, the time you. What about whom? We cannot use. Why? Because computer is not a person. Computer is a thing. What about who? Who and whom can be used for people. Whom and who can be used for people. And when can be used to time. Okay, so the correct answer is D. The computer which I bought last week has already broken. The computer which I bought last week has already broken. So the correct answer is which. What about Salman? Daughter studies medicine. Medicine is a subject. Works in a hospital. Salman. What is the difference between Salman and daughter? Yeah, Salman is the father of the daughter. So we need ownership. The ownership, the position, the possessive. Okay, we cannot use that because there is it doesn't show as possession. We cannot use who because it doesn't show as or indicates as any ownership. Whom? No. Salman is the father of the daughter, so this is the correct answer. Whose? It shows us that Salman is the father of the daughter. So Salman, whose daughter studies medicine, works in hospital. Works in hospital. So this is the correct answer. Okay. Okay, let us conclude our lesson. Today we were talking about relative pronouns. And relative pronouns always introduce a relative clause. They are who, whom, which, that, and whose, whoever and whomever. So who and whom can be used for people. Which can be used for animals, things, concepts, ideas, feelings, etc. Okay, whose shows as position or ownership. Like the boy, the teacher whose pen was stolen. The man whose children. It shows us that the man is the father of the children. Okay, so I say to you, thank you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Practice more, read more. If you don't practice, you will forget all these points or concepts or ideas and the lessons. So I say to you, in every subject, you have to practice. More practice makes you perfect. More practice makes you perfect. So do more. But if you can't do anything, you will forget it. So I say to you, thank you for watching. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.